Hello everybody, it's Will here. It's June 12th. I'm here to go through the hive and do an inspection. Last week when I was here, I saw they made pretty good progress on the honey box. So I had put the empty honey medium down below it, and hopefully this week I'll see signs that they're working on it. The other thing I did was, if you notice, there's another hive ready to go. I was originally planning on getting that ready to go the last time I was here, but to be honest with you, it was just too hot, and by the time I had gone through the bees and everything, I was ready to go home. So what I did was I came here earlier this morning, got that hive box set up and ready to go. I have the hive entrance facing the opposite direction, and I'm hoping that they're spaced far enough apart that when I do have the opportunity to split my hive, that things will go well. That's also one of the goals I want to do today, is go through the brood boxes and check on signs of swarming. If we can see here, before I even get my stuff started, they're bearding outside a little bit. It's not too awfully warm out today. It's like in the 70s right now, so that, to me, that tells me that the population the number of bees in that hive is pretty high. There are foragers working. I can see them coming in, but they're not clouding up like they would if it was super sunny out. So I'm gonna grab my tools and my smoker and get into the hive and see how things are going. Smoker's been sitting there for a while, so I wanted to get it going. Bees are pretty chill right now. They didn't cause me any problems when I was putting that other box in and out here whacking the grass with the hand sickle. But I still am gonna glove up when I go through the boxes. Generally they seem to be fairly mellow when I'm going through the top brood box, but when I start getting into the bottom one, they're still mellow usually, but they usually let me know they'd prefer me to leave them alone. So I'm gonna make sure I glove up. Okay, see how we do here. Gonna give them a little smoke down below, let them know I'm here. Same on the top box. Lots of numbers up there. That's a good sign. Pull the outer cover off. Lots of bees. Smoke down into the inner cover. And got it propolised pretty good. Alright, so we're going to take a look at this top box at first. This is the one that had all the honey in it the last time. So I'm going to see if they made any more progress with it before I dig further down into the hive. These frames are stuck pretty good. So I'm going to loosen them first. Before I do anything. Myself some space to work. Okay. The second frame out. Lots of capped honey. That whole side is nothing but capped honey. I'm so happy to see that. Because this would be the end frame. It's pretty heavy, loaded with nectar on that side. This is the outer side, inner side, and they're capping it. Be the third frame in. That's almost entirely capped on that side. And they're doing a pretty good job on that side. Filling this one up. Oh, this one has a lot of weight to it. Doing a good job with that. Same way with this one. I'm gonna rearrange these a little bit, I think, as I go. I'll put this one over here for now. That's pretty good. That one's pretty good. So what I'm going to do as I'm going, I'm going to take these and rearrange them a little bit. Kind of get an idea what I want to do here. So what I'm trying to do is take frames that are pretty worked and put them on the ends here. And put the ones that need worked a little more towards the center. I'm probably over managing this, but that's okay. Alright, so I'm not going to dig into that too much more. Hear them get loud because they weren't too happy about me rearranging. Ah, that box is stuck on. It's heavy. All right. So this is the box that had just foundation in it. And I'm trying to get them to draw comb in this box. It's hard to tell. Looks like they're just starting to think about working that frame. I'm gonna set it outside here. Same way with this one. Okay. So they're just thinking about starting to work on these. I'm gonna let that go. Okay. I'm gonna mess with that box too much more. Get that lifted. It's not what I wanted to do. Whoops. Alright, we'll grab it this way. Did not want to lift that when I did. They didn't have it as stuck as much as I thought they did. Okay, so now we're down to the queen excluder. Again, this device, the bars are spaced just wide enough that the worker bees can get through, but the queen bee can't. And that keeps nothing but honey up in the upper boxes. Some beekeepers use it, some don't. I prefer to use it. Up some of this bridge comb here. Okay, now this will be the top brood box. So now what I'm doing is loosening the frame so I can pull this one out. And then I'm going to start looking for signs that the queen is still here and doing what she's supposed to be doing, and also look for signs that they're thinking about swarming. Last week when I was through here, they had some queen cups started on the bottom, but weren't doing anything with them. Little capped brood here on the edge. This frame, I think last week, was pretty full of capped, so these all must have just emerged and they're cleaning it up, ready for the queen to come back. Chances of her being on this frame are pretty slim, but I'm gonna look anyway. See how this bee here is pretty pale right here by my thumb? That bee just emerged a little bit ago. Okay, signs of the queen there. On this end frame, last week this was just nectar and honey. That's pretty much what it is this week. Still gonna look because the queen may be here on a off chance. Alright, This frame has tons of capped brood. Looks like it's ready to emerge. Some of it has, because you can see the bees starting to clean the cells out. Kind of wish the sun was out today. Now there's a queen cup here. Hard to tell if that's just polished or if there's stuff in that. I'm going to let it go for now. Queen cup there, nothing in it. We got capped cells here. And larvae. I don't know if you could tell, I was blowing on that group of bees to get them to move so I could see what was underneath. Got a little bit of larvae here, older larvae. And I'm looking for the queen bee. Now, if you're wondering why all of a sudden there's tons of bees up here on the top where they weren't there earlier, I think that's because those are worker bees trying to get nectar that they had gathered up to the top honey boxes that aren't there right now. So they hit that area and can't go any further, so they're just kind of hanging out waiting. Alright, this looks like brood larva that's just about ready to be capped. Same on this one. I haven't seen any real young larvae or eggs yet. That's all capped larvae. And it's larvae with some nectar. And I have queen cells here on the bottom that have stuff going in them. Okay, so I need to keep an eye out now for when those get capped. I'm going to leave them go. I might come back here in the middle of the week now and see if those are capped and ready to go. Once they're capped, that means I'm going to go through the box, find the queen, and split the hive into this new box. So I have 2 hives. Got larvae here. Yeah, so they are showing signs of getting ready to swarm. Generally, if you see the queen cups, the queen cells at the bottom of the frames, those are the ones that are getting ready to, they're specially made for the queen to lay in to make new queens for after she swarms. If we were to see those cells higher into frames, or a cell where they had taken an egg that had already been laid and they're building a queen cell around it. That would mean other things. That would mean that they're going to supersede her. That means that they weren't happy with what the queen is doing, and they're going to make a new one to replace her. But I haven't seen any of that yet. It's all nectar, and that next one looks like it's all honey, so I'm not gonna mess with it. So I need to remember to come back here, try to come back here if I can, in a few days to see how those queen cells are doing. And once they're capped, that's my signal to go through and split the hive. Okay, this box is back together. Bees are still pretty mellow. Come on, I need you to move. I want to put my hand there. Thank you. Okay, get this one out of the way. Holy cow. It's got some weight to it. Alright, now I'm looking for signs that the queen's down here. And I can kind of tell the queen's down here. I'm sure you've heard me say this before. If you just listen to them, you can tell. See how this box here, it's gotten louder? The box I moved. Generally they'll do that if they can't get the queen pheromone. So to me, that's a clue that chances are the queen is in this box working. Sorry for being quiet there for a second. I was looking for the queen. Again, you want it, when you do this, get in the habit of looking on the ends, because sometimes she scoots around on the edge. Okay. I really want to see signs of young larvae or eggs, or the queen. I'll take any at this point. Again, this is where a nice sunny day would come in handy. So I could look down in the cells. So for me at this point in the inspection, if I see eggs or the queen, then I know the inspection's done. I've saw what I needed to see, and I can close this up. No luck so far. I must have missed her. Never had them crawling on pants like this as much as they have today. Alright, well, with it being cloudy out, I don't think I'm going to spot eggs anymore. I did see larvae. I don't want to agitate them anymore, and I have to today. So we're going to close it up. I'm going to be back in a few days anyway. So we'll try again then. What I'm trying to do now, get the bees to move so I can close up the box. The queen could have been on the sidewall, and I could have missed her. Okay. Yes, we're going to close it up. Okay, put the excluder on. Trick is to kind of set it down easy and give them a chance to get out of the way when you're putting the boxes down. Sometimes it's not always possible, especially when the box is heavy. Like this one. Holy cow. That's 40 pounds. Or it feels like it. Alright. Put the inner lid on. Put the outer lid on. Let these girls alone. And I'll be back in a few days and see how they're doing with those queen cells. Again, I'm not going to do anything with it today. We're just going to let it go. And I'll come back and see if they made any progress on those and take a closer look to see if I can't spot the queen. In the meantime, I do know I have at least one box of honey this year, which I'm very happy about. All right, folks. So, may not, in some ways, may not feel like I don't feel like I got one of my goals done because I couldn't find a queen or signs of young cells, but I did see signs of swarming, which means we're getting close to when I'm gonna have to split the hive. And luckily I put this second box in time, and I'm prepared for it. So as I kind of said earlier, I'll be back in a few days, see if they capped off those cells. If they did, then I'll have to find the queen for sure and perform the split. So that should be it for today. I'll catch you guys later, and be safe.